Okay, so these days I do kind of sound like a broken record, but I think it's absolutely necessary to remind first myself and second to you guys that just because I'm calling these huge moves on the upside and they do actually happen doesn't mean that I am right 100% of the time. No, I'm not here to claim anything. I'm just trying to get it right 6 out of 10 times. This just happened to be one of those times that I was right, okay? I want you to fully understand this and do not put a whole lot of hopes in mine or for that matter, any other analysis on YouTube or Twitter or any other space. Understood? Okay, because what I'm about to tell you, believe it or not, is actually much more bullish than before. And I think in Quant, we are doing something special in this area, which suggests that we might see soon some even, believe it or not, sharper moves on the upside. So with that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're having a great time with your family and loved ones. And before we talk about what is happening in here in the short term, I need to tell you that in the coming days, I'm going to put an hour to maybe even 90-minute long video out for my members. And in that video, I'm going to talk about the altcoins that I'm holding and their bull run targets. And I'm going to also share with you what are my thoughts and what might be next for Bitcoin and also altcoin market. So if you're interested in those informations, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. If you do not want to, that's absolutely fine. Feel free to watch the videos. And now let's just dive in and see what actually happened in this region. If you remember, the last time that we talked about Quant, we were somewhere around these areas. And I was saying, look, this can be 5 wave up into 1 and then correction for wave 2, which suggests, well, okay, we're going to get a big move up into wave 3, 4, 5. Now, our move up actually happened and it was about a 50% move in the last 3 days. But the shape of it wasn't actually what I expected. And in fact, it might be much more bullish than I initially thought. Now, at first, let's just do a quick analysis and see what is happening in here in terms of classic TA, meaning support and resistances. So the idea was that in here, we are having a very important resistance area when we were under it between, let's say, 103 to about $110. And we were saying, if you want to argue that a resistance is broken, you need to see a move above here in order to have the initial breaking phase and followed by that a pullback to the broken region and thereafter a continuation of the move up in order to take this side. And did we have something like this or not? Let's just do this. There we go. So as you can see, this is a very, very classic and textbook breaking structure. This is our initial move up, followed by that a very solid pullback in form of a correction. Probably, I would say, an ABC zigzag, and what happened after it, a continuation of the move up in order to take this side. Now, in the previous video, I told you, if we get a break of this thing, the next target is going to be right around here, around the next important resistance area between 125 to about 130. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, in the previous video, I was thinking to myself that, okay, if we're going to get a break of this area, then we are actually going to stop here. And this might be the topic of my next video. However, what happened, as you can see, since the last video, we also got a break of this region, got a pullback, and then a continuation of the move up in order to take this side. And now I'm going to say probably the next target is actually going to be all the way up here around this very important region between 155 to about $160. So in terms of classic TA, it seems like that we are just keep breaking strong resistances, which is an extremely bullish sign in Quant. What about what is happening in terms of Elliott waves? Well, before we see what is going on the live chart, let me teach you some basic Elliott waves, because I know a lot of you these days are new viewers and you may not be familiar with what I'm doing. So that's why I need to tell you, if you want to argue that the bottom is in and we are having a solid uptrend and we are basically bullish, then okay, you need to be able to find in any chart, doesn't matter what chart, a 5-wave impulsive structure on the upside, something like this. Now, this specific example is a normal 5-wave. The rules for it are, we should not have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4, and this rule is specific for a normal 5-wave, okay? I want you to understand this, but The rule that I'm about to say is for all kinds of impulsive structures, which in them wave 3 under any kind of circumstances should not be the smallest wave. Now in terms of the subwaves, you know it if you are a regular viewer. We must have 5 wave up into wave 1, 3, and 5. Let's just take this one. There we go. And for wave 2 and 4, we can have different scenarios. I don't really care about it a whole lot. Let's say, yeah, sure. A WXY into wave 4 and an ABC structure into wave 2. Understood? Okay, let's go on the live chart and see what is happening. So maybe it's best to go on 30-minute time frame. If you remember in the previous video, we said there's a good chance from this point we are having 5 wave up into a wave 1, and this whole move down is probably an A, B, C running flat into wave 2, and we literally counted all the subwaves in here, and I am going to say that this is actually a 1, 2. Let's just do this. Excuse me, where is it? There we go. This is 1, this is 2, and for now, let's just put the end of our wave 3 and 4 and 5 in here, and let's actually extend the waves a bit. There we go. Now, here is the situation. Ideally, in this move on the upside, I should be looking for the subwaves of this red wave 3 right in here. And I do think that we are on our way to complete the subwaves. However, I think this thing might actually be just the beginning of it. And here is how and why. I'm thinking that if we just do this, okay, let's say this one, this move and also this one lengthwise are kind of similar. Also, this one and this one are similar. And these whole moves on the upside seems like that they might be each on a lower degree relative to each other. So what's the conclusion in here? Look, there is a good chance that in quant, we are actually setting the foundation for something absolutely magnificent, and we may have a series of 1-2s. You see, I can tell you, well, okay, look, this is a 1-2, and then we're going to get a huge move up into wave 3, 4, 5. Let's actually extend these waves also a bit more. There we go. And also do this. Okay. Let's also change the color of this one so you can see it a bit better. Followed by that, in here, we may have also another 1 and a 2, but on a lower degree relative to this one. And the idea is that we're going to get a big move up into wave 3, 4, 5 in order to complete the subwaves for this white wave 3. And then again, another 1 and a 2, and then 3, 4, 5 into this orange wave 3. Let's actually change the colors to maybe green, sure. And also in here, this might be another 1 and a 2 structure. And at the moment, we might be on our way to complete the subwaves for a larger degree wave 3, something like this. So what's the conclusion in here? Look, if this scenario is in play, then in the next couple of weeks, we are going to see most likely some magnificent moves on the upside. And I promise you, according to this scenario at least, you are not ready for what is about to come in quant. And who knows, maybe even in these moves, we are actually going to set an all-time high and take the highest high around $450. I think that is definitely possible. Now, here is a very important point. Every single analyst should have a very solid invalidation point for their bullish or maybe bearish scenario. And what's the invalidation point for this thing? Well, I'm going to tell you, it's going to be actually a big move on the downside in order to take this low about, let's say, $107. So if you see in the next coming days or maybe even weeks a move down in QNT in order to take this low, okay, at that point we're going to say maybe this 1-2 scenario is not going to be in play. It doesn't mean that we are going to be absolutely bearish. I fully disagree with that scenario. I believe there's a very high chance that the bottom in quant is actually in, and we are on our way to have a great bull run in QNT in order to at least set an all-time high and take the highest high, which I do think that we're not actually going to stop there, and we're going to go quite a bit more higher than that. No, it just means that maybe our move down is going to take a while, and then after it again we are going to continue our bull run. So one way or the other, in quant, in my opinion, we are looking absolutely 100% bullish, and I just do not believe that our bull run and our move up is over yet. So overall, I am so excited for what is about to happen in Quant in the next couple of weeks. And who knows, maybe even I'm not going to be ready for that. Because if this thing is going to be in play, it might actually exceed all the expectation in the market. I think this move up can be that powerful. So I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in QNT's price chart. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next video, I hope you have a wonderful time with your family and loved ones. Goodbye.